saw her standing on the corner.
Let's do this. He was the best. He still is the best. He'll always be the best. No reason for cable when you've got BillO'Reilly.com. The best interviews, the best columns. In fact, his new one is out. No such thing as Not Guilty. And his TV show right there on BillO'Reilly.com, which every now and then he invites me and Bernie on, which is great, is amazing. So you really can't have any more esteem, appreciation for Bill O'Reilly than Bernie and Sid have. And he's here every Thursday, which is great. Here he is right now, the great Bill O'Reilly. Good morning, Bill.
Big Bill.
Guys, how you doing?
We're doing great. So I got to figure that one of these 4 days will be at Bethpage, no?
I'm not sure.
Really?
I got the new radio gig. We're doing that 15-minute newscast.
Right. Congratulations.
So I don't know. I talked to Nance a couple of weeks ago. He's jazzed for the tournament.
Yep.
Joe Namath's having a big benefit there, I think, afterwards.
Yes. In fact, he's coming on this show tomorrow.
Oh, Namath is really a good guy.
Yep.
And his charity, I went down to his benefit in Florida, is really necessary, because there are a lot of guys in the NFL. It's like ancient Rome, the gladiators. But now, when they're retired, they got neurological stuff.
Yeah.
And Namath is helping them out. And so I admire him. Broadway Joe, obviously a New York City icon.
So, Bill O'Reilly, I hope you had a good laugh this morning. Lazy Bill de Blasio actually made it on time to Good Morning America. About a half hour ago, he was on. And this morning, he dropped a video. He's running for president.
I know. It's so absurd. But, there's an upside here. He's not going to be around the city. So I actually endorsed his run for the presidency. I heard, I don't know whether this is true, and you guys know I don't do speculation.
No.
But I heard that he offered the second ticket to Raul Castro.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised.
Wouldn't surprise us. So, I'm always interested in what people think the motivation is behind these things. And we've spoken to a bunch of people, Bill. Some say the money grab. Some talk about getting more exposure inside the party for maybe a bigger job one day. If you want to pinpoint one reason why he's doing this, it seems ludicrous. What is it?
Book.
Book?
He wants a book, and then he wants... This is the con, and you saw it yesterday with Elizabeth Warren saying, I'm not going to do a Fox News town hall, and then she sends all this out to her people and then asks for campaign money. So the smash on Fox was actually a campaign fundraising technique. So if you are a politician, so when Bernie decides to run for president, which could be next week,
possible,
and he'll announce on BillO'Reilly.com, we'll have a big dog and pony show there. We'll have people fanning him. We'll do everything he wants.
Nice.
When he does that, then anybody who sends him money, anybody who sends McGurk money, McGurk gets to keep that money. All right? And he can't spend it on personal expenses, but when you're running for president, you don't have any personal expenses. Everything you do is for your campaign. You go out to a restaurant. Well, I'm talking about my campaign to Sarah over here. You have to get new clothes. I can't, have you ever seen what McGurk looks like? You'd have to get a totally new wardrobe, all right? So a lot of that, I don't want to be cynical, but a lot of that is these people can vacuum up money from gullible supporters who send them their hard-earned money, and they use it any way they want to use it. That was the big thing with Hillary Clinton and her foundation, that she was able to, and Bill Clinton as well, fly all over the world on private jets, charging it to the charitable foundation. And so this is the ruse. This is why they do it.
Right. So Bill O'Reilly at BillO'Reilly.com. By the way, you can pre-order his new book, The United States of Trump, at BillO'Reilly.com. But now, Bill, in the wake of this Mueller report, the Trump administration says it's not going to comply with these congressional subpoenas, essentially continuing the witch hunt as Trump sees it. And you wrote a column entitled "No Such Thing as Not Guilty," which deals with this.
Yeah, because there's two prongs here. In America now, if you are accused, you're guilty, okay? And that's it. Because if you're famous, it's in the newspaper, it's on the cable shows, it's everywhere. And then if it didn't happen, as the Mueller report says that the president didn't collude, well, we're still not going to believe you. We know you're guilty. It's like Kavanaugh, okay? Yeah, the FBI says no evidence, but we know you're guilty. And that's just a flat-out violation of due process and our constitutional protections. In Trump's case, it's obviously political. So why would Jerry Nadler, no matter how much evidence there is that says there wasn't any Russian collusion, why would he accept that? There's no upside for him to accept that, except maybe being a fair, decent man.
Besides that.
Okay. So that's what's going on here. I would probably, if I were in Trump's shoes, do the same thing. And just say, look, we're not going to cooperate with any of this. Go ahead, take us to court. It'll take years or whatever, but we're just not going to feed this monster. The you are guilty no matter what monster. We're not giving it any food.
Love it. BillO'Reilly.com. Bill O'Reilly with Bernie and Sid here. So you mentioned Joe Namath, and one of the first things you think of is Alabama, of course, and all those great years that he had there for Bear Bryant. And Alabama's in the news today, Bill O'Reilly. Turns out that they want to outlaw abortions, and I'm talking about including women who have been through rape and incest. What do you think about the state abolishing abortion, even in those cases?
Well, it's all a political play. Now, this is a different situation because it's coming from the right. So the conservatives who are against abortion say, look, we got to get this in front of the Supreme Court. We have to relitigate Roe v. Wade. So the way to do it is the most conservative state in the union is Alabama. And we are going to introduce legislation that says no abortions. But if you read the law closely, as I did, there is an exception for a woman's health. You know, if there's a catastrophic effect on a woman's health, then abortion would be permitted. The woman would not be sanctioned at all in Alabama. Now, you're not going to get any doctors in Alabama to perform an abortion.
No.
You're just not. They're not going to do it. It's too risky. So this was designed because the ACLU will immediately file a federal injunction against it. They will get that, and then it'll have to go to the Supreme Court. So that's why this happened.
And, yeah, this bill, of course, it wouldn't actually punish women. It would put doctors in jail for up to 99 years.
And that's the intimidating factor that a lot of states that are outraged. See, what happened here was that the pro-abortion forces, the Cuomos of the world, all right, pushed the anti-abortion forces to the limit by passing laws, as we have in New York State, you can have an abortion for any reason at any time. And then that idiot in Virginia, that idiot governor said, and even after the baby's born, we might permit the baby to be executed on the table. Once that happened, all right, that lighted the fuse in the pro-life movement, and they say, enough. We're not going to live in this kind of a country. We're going to relitigate Roe v. Wade and try to get, they know they're not going to get abortion banned by the Supreme Court. That will never happen. But the states, they want the states to have a right to limit it. And that's what this is all about.
Bill, let's kind of wrap this up where we started. Obviously, BillO'Reilly.com is a go-to destination. Millions of people go there. Besides the Killing series, you've got this great book coming out about President Trump coming out in September. And you started the conversation by saying you may not get to Bethpage because the radio thing is back. So why don't you embellish a bit on that?
Well, I'm doing a riff on Paul Harvey.
I love him.
Tremendous radio icon.
Yes,
great.
And every day he did 15 minutes an encapsulation of what was happening in America. So we're doing that. It's called the O'Reilly Update. And the first block is hard news. Then I do my message of the day commentary, and then we do something you might not know, which is similar to the rest of the story that Harvey did. I had a relationship with Harvey before he died. He was a very interesting guy. And I just said to myself, you know, I'm not a guy who, at this point in my life, is breaking my back to make money. It's not about money for me. I think that this country needs factual information given to the people, and we're not getting it. And that's why I went in to do it. We launched it with more than 150 stations, which is unheard of.
Nice.
Unheard of.
Yep.
And so I'm busy. But I want everybody to check out Joe Namath's foundation. I think it's namath.org.
Yeah.
And he's in the Trump book. by the way, Joe Namath.
Well,
Nice.
look forward to that. That comes out in September, of course, The United
Yeah.
States of Trump. You can pre-order it again at BillO'Reilly.com, page 3. Anyway, Bill O'Reilly, we're out of time.
All right, guys.
but
We
you-
appreciate it very much. And Bernie, when you run, I want to announce on BillO'Reilly.com. And all your expenses forever will be taken care of.
Please, and I'll ask that you be my press spokesperson, if you don't mind.
Oh, that would be fun. Wouldn't that be fun? What, McGurk? Yes, this is what he wants.
Bill O'Reilly. Go to BillO'Reilly.com, folks. Thank you, Bill.